Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first it's going to be a I can't say it. A first impression slash demo. There you go. I recently went to Imats New York City about 2 weeks ago, and I picked up this Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation. This is in the shade 173, also Y445, and I believe the name is called Amber. When it comes to MAC foundation, an NC45. It retails for $43. Now on Imats, I had a 40% off, so I think I paid about $25 or so. This comes with 0.44 ounces. It does come with 15 shades, which is I think perfect, so I can get it to everyone. On my shade, it's a letter Y. Now Y stands for like yellow undertones, and then you have the R because that stands for like rosy pinky undertones. I'm gonna quickly read you what this product claims. So I have this in front of me. It says a long-lasting multitasking cover stick with invisible coverage for foundation touch-ups and contouring. This Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation creates a flawless complexion on camera and to the naked eye. It was developed specifically for the film and TV industry's most advanced technology. It is completely invisible under the latest super focus 4K lens. This contains amino acid coated pigments that provide a medium to full coverage with a lightweight second skin texture that looks just like skin, and it leaves a natural looking radiant finish. This is why it's formulated with hyaluronic spheres for a time release hydration that is perfect for normal to dry skin. The only thing that I've done to my face and in terms of makeup is my brows, because I cannot live with my brows. I do something that I gotta do every day. But you can see that I have a lot of acne scars, especially in this area. I have super large pores because I have very oily skin that I only apply my moisturizer. So because I have large pores and I have some fine lines, I always, and this has got to be my go-to, one of my favorite primers, and again, this is for Makeup Forever. I actually picked this up last year at Imats, and this is the Step 1 Smoothing Primer. We're gonna go ahead and open this. The packaging is like a plastic cover, and it has another lid here, so you can see, which is good because it does protect the foundation, which is great. So here I have one of my favorite Morphe brushes. This is a stippling brush. This is the M427, and then I have my damped beauty blender. I like working with the stippling brush because it does push the product inside, especially with these pores. But holy moly, as you can see already, the coverage, oh my god. I wouldn't say that in the beginning when I put it on my face, it did feel a little bit like heavy on my skin. But now that I am stippling it onto my skin, it feels actually very smooth and it doesn't feel cakey. Okay, this is just one layer, and I must say that it covers a lot. So far, I'm very happy. The combination of the stick foundation and the stippling brush, and I'm going to apply it on the other side. Focus here on this area that I'm like really red. Yeah, I feel like what I said before, it does feel a little bit like heavy and cakey. Now we're gonna grab our damped beauty blender. So far, it feels good. Well, I have to say my first impression so far is that it definitely even out and it covered a lot of my issues. You do see, you know, my acne scars that are dark right now are peeking out a little bit more, but so far this is just one layer and it looks pretty darn good. I'm so far loving also the color matching of my foundation. She did a good job. I was afraid that it was gonna be too orange, but no. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna see if it's buildable, and I'm gonna add a little bit more. And this is one of the things so far that I'm liking, that because it's a stick foundation, you can just apply a little bit more in the areas that you think you need a little bit more coverage. A little redness going on there. Gonna stipple it kind of like around. I don't want to take off everything. Again, I must say that this leaves me like a satin matte finish. On camera, I think it looks amazing. I'm sorry that I'm looking at my viewfinder, but then I'm looking at my mirror right here, and the coverage, it's amazing. It gives you like such a flawless finish. I'm going to set one area and the other one I'm just gonna leave it just because. I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Press Powder Foundation. This is in the shade Sun Beige. So let's just go ahead and just lightly pat it. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to do my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I already finished doing my makeup. This time it's not gonna be a hot tea, it's gonna be an ice green tea. Right now it's 3:22 p.m. We're gonna see how this is going to hold on my oily skin. I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. It is 10:17 right now. I want to see how this makeup looks, which believe me, I have a mirror. I already see what you're seeing right now. Typically I get like that when it comes to foundation because my face is super oily and I feel like I have this wet effect right about now. So if you have oily skin, you know the struggle is real when it comes to oily skin. Yes, I know. So let me tell you right now that I did add a little bit more extra coverage around the areas and acne scars that I have, and it stayed on overall very good. It did break down a teeny little bit around my nose, but barely. I think it looks amazing even with my oiliness. If I was to have dry skin, this would look probably better, not like this. I'm gonna use a little bit of this setting powder. This is that Maybelline Master Fix Face Studio, just because I want to see what it would look like if I was to, you know, apply a little powder just to mattify my face. So let's start here, and oh Lord, what a difference. Oily mattes. This is what I would go for. And not for nothing, even with the setting powder, it looks very good overall. So much better already. Let me start with the pros on this foundation. What I like, first of all, that it's a stick foundation. It's great for traveling. You don't have to worry about spilling your foundation, exploding, like that's happened to me many times before when I take my liquid foundation, even though I put it in a plastic bag and it's just like boom, like a hot mess. Believe me, that's happened to me. They claim that this is great for highlighting and contouring, which I think it's perfect. The other thing that I love about this foundation when I applied it on my skin is that it's very blendable. It's very smooth after you apply it, whether it's a beauty blender or if it's a stippling brush. Also, I like the fact that you sort of have control on how much product do you use. With the liquid foundation, you know, if you start using the pump, sometimes depending on the pump, sometimes it comes out a lot and sometimes you have to like really go at it. With this, it's just like so easy. You saw me before that I went to apply a little bit more extra coverage and it was easy to go. You're in control of this, sucker. It does give you like a healthy glow satin finish, which I think is going to look amazing for people that have dry skin. My cousin, I see you. Let me see. Nope. I don't detect any fragrance whatsoever. So again, if you have sensitive skin, you would like this. Or if you're just like me, because sometimes, depending on the fragrance, sometimes if it's too strong, I might be like, oh, I can smell and it's really annoying. But with this, nothing. That's another positive thing that I forgot to mention. It didn't oxidize on my skin. I've had a few experiences where foundations that I have used, it turns orange and I look like an Oompa Loompa. With this, depending on your oils and see how it's going to change and turn out, but this actually stayed on the same. And last but not least, I love that this is a foundation slash concealer at the same time. I think it works amazing. You don't have to worry about that step and I love it. Now let's talk about the cons about this. I always feel like I have to say this in every foundation that I have done a review or a demo, is that for those of you, and I'm gonna say it, for my oily sisters, you guys saw what I look like. I look like a wet effect. That's happened to me all the time. So I'm so used to it that I'm like, I know I'm gonna get oily regardless. You're definitely going to need a setting powder, a blotting sheet. You definitely need a primer, whether it's a mattifying primer, smoothing primer. I like both. Even if you have oily skin, I would still recommend it because this is gonna look amazing on pictures. Like if you have even oilier skin than I do, and this is to another level. I don't know if I would say stay away from this foundation, just because if you're willing to put up with applying a little loose powder to just kind of mattify your skin or blotting sheets, then go for it. I would, because that's just how I have to roll. I just have no other option. And it still looks amazing, don't get me wrong. But if you don't want to go through all those steps and all the hustle, then I would say, sorry, makeup forever. I must skip you then. I did take a few pictures and I think it looked very nice. I was like, okay, I'll see you. This is $43 and this only comes with 0.44 ounces. Your typical foundation, whether it's drugstore or high-end, it does come with 1 ounce. So I feel like the price should have been a teeny little bit less, you know? It is a high-end foundation. It is Makeup Forever. I know they're amazing. But in this case, I would actually make kind of an exception and still pay for it. That would be the only pro if you're really gonna dig in and just kind of dissect on finding something wrong about this. But it is worth it though, I must say.